My name is Trace Cunningham, and this is
Malanganda, and here's our presentation.
okay. Here we go. These are the three thinkers that use the traditional religious, but they argue that the traditional religious influence is on the decline, and people are starting to turn culture into like the so-called new religion. Uh, for this meaning identity, and even moral guidance, they believed art could fill the spiritual gap left behind.
As you can see, museums, they can even serve as cathedrals. As you can see, they like draw you to them just instantly. As you can like see with the paintings, the colorful photograph paintings on the walls. These sort of portraits, works of art, and sculptures kind of serve similar, draw like shock and awe, sort of about like with the humanitarian movement, trying to capture the perfect body.
All right. From their perspective, they're both, as you can see in these pictures, they have very similar. What's the word? I can't remember what the
Appearance.
word is, but yeah, very similar architecture.
Yeah,
Uh, hmm.
yeah,
And while the idea of religion and culture uh, mixing doesn't agree with everybody, um, me myself, I don't believe that you can replace religion, and a lot of people don't as well. But I do think culture is a very powerful and meaningful thing. Uh, Culture and religion can also work together, and it shapes how the world is built today. And religion gives a deeper meaning and values and spiritual grounding. So,
yeah. It's almost like the museums are like the secular cathedral almost,
yeah,
where like as they both like they draw sort of they like almost like the human spirit towards divine art architecture, and it's almost like a ritual when you like enter both. And here is Dorpheus, who represents the canon of beauty, and just and it's along with the Greek ideal of perfection through almost math. And as you can see, the harmony and balance even in his faith, almost like something that could only be achieved through a hammer and chisel and not real life.
yeah. Mhm. Let's see here. And as we can see here, they had every proportion mapped out on what the so-called perfect human being would look like. Um,
Yeah,
they created the sculpture literally using the mathematical system called the canon of proportions. Everything is very calculated, and from the length of the limbs and the torso and all things like that, from the head to toe,
yeah.
everything is mathematically.
Yeah.
Uh,
They almost yeah they employed the golden ratio. Like I just find it so interesting that they're using things that they discovered during these times as Pythagoras was exploring, and even you listed in other like Greek mathematicians, well, like the Greek area mathematicians, they were using like the golden ratios to sort of like find things in math, and then they sort of transpose these mathematical concepts into arts. And these pictures, the symmetry, for the next slide, that they symbolize the ideal beauty, and like it's sort of like you're jacked, so you're fit to rule almost. Like it like makes them the democratic model citizen who lead at all aspects of life, not just leading.
Yeah, I would like to also say that based off of these pictures, and I guess based off their idea of these type of humans, it represents discipline, rationality, and also virtue.
Yeah,
So they see this big, strong person, they always think that they have everything going for them, basically.
yeah, like you can't achieve that physique without any of those concepts. As you said, like you can't if you're not disciplined, you can't achieve that. I mean, you can't achieve that as so sort of like beyond human, like a perfect equation. Like these, like mathematical perfection can only be achieved through hard work, like a concept that's transcended time.
And here we have the Olmec art. Their art is basically just one big head.
Yeah,
um, Now, when you compare these to the Greek sculptures, you can see they're very different. One is just basically just like I said before, is the head, and then with the Greek art is the idea of a mathematical perfect human being.
yeah. And you see the flared lips, then wide nostrils, big nose, the eyes that kind of sit back in. These were unique figures. They were sort of like almost visual billboards to project power and influence throughout their vast empires. So you probably don't see the emperor that often, like because like say he lives in like more southern of the capital city. Like if you're in the north, you wouldn't be able to see him. But these billboards, like same way if you saw like a Chris Pratt billboard, you would instantly recognize them, and it like transposes their influence across their empire, asserting them as
Yeah.
ruler. Yeah, again with the geometric constants, like they use different things and how these things like affect the geography. Anything else or
Well, I would also like to point out it is in Central America, or it's more known in Central America. And then, yeah, that's all I got for right there.
yeah, and like these artifacts, they also represent the technology as yeah, as you wrote, like like the boulders were carved through like their technology and like how it can only these arts reflect not only their culture but also their technology. And
Yeah.
how would you say like there are no words on any of these, but like how do you still recognize them? Like what makes it recognizable?
I feel like what makes it recognizable are Greeks. As you can see, they have this perfect, I guess, chiseled man in their idea. And then with the, I can't remember how to say the names, but with the
Yeah,
other
Olmec. Yeah,
image, yeah, they have big nose, big lips, the ears, everything is very, you can see everything. It's something that they take pride in.
yeah. And just to God, and just to quickly finish, we'll finish with this. Just you can see like they represent two different ideals as the big heads just dominate the landscape, make them easy to stand out, while these would just be more commonplace and everyday citizen would interact with it. Whereas this would represent power, this would represent something to look up to.
Yeah.